Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Santira Ganesh Kirubaharan, a student of Master of Project Management from Open University Malaysia, is doing an assignment for Safety, Health and Environmental Management subject. We will be talking about Kim Kim River incident, which just took place in March 2019. I'll be walking you through some of the slides to explain to you on the chronology, on the problems and other related matters to Kim Kim River, Pasir Gudang, Johor. Alright, let us go through some of the quick facts of Kim Kim River chemical dumping incident which happened just recently. Okay, basically Kim Kim River is situated in Pasir Gudang, Johor, as I mentioned to you earlier. It is a 1.5 kilometer stretch river. It's a pretty long river, yeah. It's polluted due to chemical dumping, alright, recently, and it is suspected dumped by irresponsible chemical factory around Pasir Gudang area. Alright, chemical disposed in the river emits poisonous gas, right? And it affects almost 2,775 people around Pasir Gudang area. Alright, I'll walk you through some of the chronology of the Pasir Gudang's Kim Kim River incident. Alright, let us start off with 8 March, when is the first day, right? First day, chemical stench was detected by students and staff of 2 schools around Pasir Gudang area. Alright, they have reported to the officials, and officials such as the local authority of Pasir Gudang, yeah, right, they immediately appointed Bomba and Hazmat. Hazmat is a special team which is appointed to investigate on local hazard matters, right? To check on the possibilities of the gas leak around Pasir Gudang area. Okay. On the next day, number of patients being treated due to the gas leak increased to 79 people, right? Before that was about 2 school management. Now it got increased to 79. Yeah. On the following day, on 11th March 2019, the 2 affected, basically on 8th of March, the 2 affected school got closed, right? Everybody was asked to go back due to that incident. And on 11th of March, the 2 affected school was reopened after a small gotong royong being done by their school's PIBG and also their teachers, right? When the teaching and learning was carrying out smoothly on that evening on 11th of March, around 11 to 11:30 a.m., some of the students reported to have dizziness, reported to be vomiting again due to same reason, and they were sent to hospital again, right? On the same day, 3 individuals was suspected disposing chemical in Kim Kim River, alright? Moving on 12th of March, more schools in Pasir Gudang district were closed because the incident was getting serious, and on this day 306 people was being treated on that particular day, right? On the next day, 13 March 2019, number of people being treated increased to 947. Yeah, bear in mind, 947, with 9 of them being treated in ICU. Just imagine how severe was that particular condition, right? Immediately, Johor State Government approved an emergency fund of 6.4 million to carry out the cleanup and other work, because this is a big crisis. The state government have to do something about it, right? They approved a 6.4 million, right? And followed by 14th of March, 2,775, basically 2,775 people was receiving treatment, and 7 of them was treated in ICU at that particular day. DOE, which stands for Department of Environment, investigated that crisis and found hazardous chemical residue around the area, even in the air and also in Kim Kim River. Alright. On the same day, on the same very day, 14th of March, government seek help from the military and also private agencies like Petronas for resources and machinery to overcome this crisis. On the same day, special parliament debate was held on special resolution on chemical pollution issue at 4:30 p.m. On 14th of March, Defence, Armed Forces and other government agency forces was mobilized to site to overcome the crisis and to do the cleanup work. The cleanup work was carried out day and night, ladies and gentlemen. Just take that note. Alright. After 5 days, 5 days from 14th of March to 19th of March, finally Minister Yeo Bee Yin, she is the Minister for Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change. She announced that the cleanup work for 1.5 kilometer length of Kim Kim River is finally done, and this river is free from toxic pollution. Alright. So once she announced, then only the crisis got overcome. Alright. Now I'll be walking you through some of the problems which we encountered due to Kim Kim River incident. Okay, first problem, we had medical issue to the public. As you can see, 2775 people was treated for various medical conditions. All of them are treated due to dizziness, nausea and vomiting, and also some other medical attention which they require. Just bear in mind, out of these 2775 people, 9 of them was treated in ICU. Just imagine how severe was that. Alright. Second problem, closure of educational institution. This incident had made 111 schools to be ordered to be closed by the Department of Education, Ministry of Education. This includes kindergartens and preschool. Alright. Finally, the school only reopened on 31st March 2019. Just imagine, from 19 March, where Minister Yeo Bee Yin announced the river is free from toxic, but Department of Education, Ministry of Education only instructed the school to be open on 31st March, right? This is just to give time to the children and also the school students to be really free from the toxic, then only they can enter school. Okay, next problem that we can encounter is expensive cleanup costs, because Kim Kim River, according to the minister, Kim Kim River cleanup cost touches about 10 million ringgit Malaysia. 10 million ringgit Malaysia is not a small money, ladies and gentlemen. Right? It was also reported that 550 metric ton of soils and 700 metric ton of contaminated water was removed from Sungai Kim Kim area. Right? Next, environmental pollution. Environmental pollution, we had air pollution, we had water pollution in the Kim Kim River. We had disruption of daily life. Because of this incident, we had daily life disrupted, daily routine affected, because of they cannot go out to work, they cannot socialize with friends and family, they cannot go to school. Can you see or not? They had to stay indoor and cannot go outside. So this makes them to be, their life to be disrupted. Next, we will be looking into some of the factors which caused Kim Kim River incident. Right? No stern government enforcement. Move on with lack of environmental awareness. Easy solution to dispose waste. This is what most of the factory taking shortcuts. Incompetency in managing waste, because they don't have a proper people appointed in their company, like safety officer, for example, to manage their waste, and they are operating illegal factories. These illegal factories, mostly they don't have license, right? Next, we will be looking into type of hazards, right? First type is health hazard. Health hazard is whereby anything that can harm anybody or anyone from performing his job, alright? It could be affected to part or whole body which could be exposed to hazard. Will take long time to realize the effect, and to give you some example of health hazard, one can be exposed to loud noise in their workplace, and this over time will make their ear to be damaged. As you can see here in the picture, hazmat team, right, which has been appointed to carry out the cleanup work in Sungai Kim Kim, right, is protecting themselves with all the required measures. as you can see, they have mask, they have helmet, they have protective suit, they have glove, right? These are some of the protection that they have to cover themselves in order for them to carry out the work. Next, we'll go on with safety hazard. Safety hazards are any forces that is strong enough to cause damage or injury, right? These safety hazards can be seen very obviously, yeah? And this can cause injury, loss of life, paralyzed, even mentally or physically disabled. This one is usually because when we are working on heavy machineries like backhoe, tractors, all this backhoe, if we are not really particular, and also we are not really concerned on our surrounding, when people are doing work, we might get hit by all this stuff, right? You can see cleaning team using heavy machineries to perform cleanup work. This is one of the safety hazards. To people around that, if they are not aware that there is a backhoe here, right? Next, we'll be going to an environmental hazard. Okay, these effects and harmful for surrounding may not be seen but could affect very quickly, can cause harm if SOP of certain procedure is not followed. Environmental hazard can be seen everywhere. This can be due to gas leak, this can be due to some pollution over the water, over the air, anywhere. Okay, as you can see, here's an example of our minister showing air pollution reading meter, which is not, she's showing air pollution reading. Air pollution reading, we cannot see through naked eye. Only some special apparatus like this reading can detect how polluted is that particular air in that area, correct? Now, we can identify on hazard, we go on hazard identifications. I'll be walking you through some of the methods and technique on identifying hazard. Alright, let us start with the method first. Method, first of all, we have to set up time frame and step to examine hazard, followed by proper record keeping on hazard involved, followed by required time frame for reviewing. Alright, if you don't have enough time, you might identify the hazard wrongly. Followed, we go through the techniques now, right? Technique of identifying hazard, work environment inspection, number 1. Number 2 will be preliminary investigation, which is associated with the incident. Number 3 will be job hazard analysis, right? Next, we'll be going to the, alright, now let us see how to prevent hazard. We can prevent hazard by forming a task force. A group should be assigned to just check a group is assigned just for special tasks to check whether these factories adhere to our regulation or not, right? Next, strict licensing procedure, whereby local authority like the Majlis or Majlis Pemandaran can be very strict in issuing license, especially to chemical factories. Followed by training for proper waste disposal. This one can be seen because most of the chemical factories, especially the small scale ones, don't have enough training for them to dispose chemical residues. So that is why they are taking shortcuts to dispose the chemical residuals. Now let us see how can we control chemical hazard. We can control from the source itself, whereby we can eliminate the hazard. How we eliminate? We stay away from the hazard job. We can also substitute the hazard. How to substitute? We replace the hazard with other similar tasks, which is less hazardous. Moving on, we'll be looking at engineering control on controlling hazard. How do we do that? Let's see. We have 4 types on how do we do engineering control to control hazard. We start off with isolation, whereby hazard is kept away from human. It can either work either way. Human is kept away or hazard is kept away. Just like human stayed indoor from the Sungai Kim Kim, from getting exposed to outside air while Sungai Kim Kim incident. From barriers, Barriers meaning to say they are blocked from having proper equipment. They are blocked by having proper equipment from having direct contact from the hazard. Number 3, dilution. Hazard to be diluted or dissipated. Mostly, this dilution can be mostly seen on gases or liquid, yeah. And the final one will be automation. Automation is whereby we use machineries to perform a job. This is to avoid from human from being get into direct contact to the hazard, right? Next, we'll be seeing administrative control. Administrative control is whereby supervising and training should be provided regularly in workplace. Job rotation. Job rotation is to ensure not a single worker is exposed to the particular hazard a long time. So basically they take shift or they rotate, yeah, among the staff. And they also have to practice safe work procedure, whereby they have to implement a standardized safety practice in performing their daily duties, right? Final one is personal protective equipment, which we call as PPE. This is the most ultimate final solution when all the other solutions are not working for hazard control. Alright, PPE should be wear in our physical body to protect our physical body. PPE need to be trained to be used properly. Without a proper training on how to wear PPE, how to wear your clothes, how to wear your helmet, mask, it might not work for you. And PPE, bear in mind, PPE also do have their particular limitations. Alright. In conclusion, what can I say? Conclusion, what we can take from Kim Kim River incident, we have to dispose waste according to rules and regulation which has been dictated by Department of Environment. Without adhering to all these rules, this incident will always happen. Not only now, maybe next year, 5 years down the road, even 10 years down the road. Second point, we have to hire experts to work in chemical factory so that these experts are the one who will consult the chemical factory to dispose their waste in a proper way, not by polluting our environment. So with that, I end my presentation. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next presentation. Thank you. Signing off, Sandira.